Welcome back to the Gloire Show. And as you can see right now, I'm sitting in a whole different place. Like I told you guys, I'm going to continue to record my videos in different areas. So that way, it's just a way to show you that, to just give people courage. People are afraid to go in certain areas and record their videos or talk to the world. So yesterday, I actually posted a video, but it was struck by YouTube based on the guidelines. But today, we're gonna follow the guidelines. I spoke on the topic that I found very important that you know to speak on, and that topic is basically reminding people that when you do something wrong, you must be ashamed of what you did, and shame is not a bad thing. A lot of people tend to think shame is completely a bad thing. No, shame is a good thing if it's used properly, if it's used in a way that you're not forgetting your identity. The word shame itself is basically um, when you recognize what you have done as something wrong, as something that's not moral, and does not align with the social guidelines. Let's say when you go outside and you push somebody, that that should bring you shame. You recognize that and say, "Wow, why did I push that person?" Is that a way of being a human being? Is that a way of being kind to others? No, absolutely not. So when you recognize that, you basically hold yourself accountable, and that allows you to change your actions. It's basically holding yourself accountable based on your actions. And I don't want you to forget your identity. So I don't want you to forget the fact that you're a human being. I don't want you to feel hopeless. I want you to recognize what you have done as incorrect. I was speaking on the topic, we must kind of like allow the word shame to not be looked at as bad. So when you see someone do something bad, it's okay to point it out. Some people may say, "Oh, you're being judgmental." No, I don't think so. I think society have normalized bad behaviors. The reason why they have normalized bad behaviors is because it allows people to feel as if, they can do whatever, and to give them that emotional support. But I think bad behaviors have destroyed society in so many different ways. People thinking a certain way, thinking the world should revolve around them. I think that also have been normalized. I think we are gonna live our lives, but this world is not fair, so we must be kind to others, we must be kind to ourselves, and we must be able to work hard if we want to achieve something. And today, I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about that, because I feel like there's a lot of people who do not get to hear something like this on a daily basis. And I speak on a lot of, I speak to youth. I speak to a lot of kids that's coming from, let's say, like a single parent household, and a lot of those kids who I do speak to, a lot of them, their parents do not have the time to sit down and talk to them. The reason why is because the parents working overtime, working multiple hours, and sometimes even the kid, let's say the kid goes to school, comes back from school, the parent is at home tired, and then they have to sleep, wake up, and then repeat the day. And in most cases, they don't get to sit down and speak to their kids and tell them how to be, positive influence in the world. So I tend to step in to the kids that I do speak to and highlight this kind of little things that can add value to their life. And when I do talk to them, I'm very straightforward. I tell them exactly how I feel about a situation, and I tell them exactly what they should do about that situation. And I tend to teach them that if you want to succeed in the world, we must get rid of the victim mindset. The victim mindset is what also allows people to act very irrational in a way that does not fit the normal way of acting in society. Let's say every single day I'm complaining that um, the police have stopped me, for example. You know, the police have stopped me, the police this and that, but I'm speeding. And then when the police stops me, I'm complaining that why would they stop me because I'm this and that. I don't want you to think that way. I want you to think in a way that why did this person stop me? If the person stopped me because I was speeding, it's because I was speeding. It's not because of I am black, white, Hispanic, or whatever you are. I did this. This was the result of it. I want you to think in that way, because when you start thinking in that way, you start making decisions that allows you to grow and become a positive force to the world and become a great influence. I spoke about, yesterday, the video that was striked. I spoke about basically like the people that we tend to see online, those artists who are promoting all these behaviors that's not morally correct in society, how they get to, they get to get away from doing things like that. No, I wouldn't want my kids to grow up in society where people do not look at themselves and say, you know what I'm doing is not actually doing any good to the world. I understand I'm making money from it, but what my what do I want my legacy to be like? How do I want people to remember me as? I watched a video of this guy, the McDonald owner. The guy literally is selling McDonald's to other people. When it was time for him to eat it, he was discussed. And he does not feed his kids McDonald's. His kids eat healthy foods and so on. So for him, he's getting the money, he's building his wealth. But because he does not recognize what he's doing is harming the world, he's going to continue doing it. But when people start actually telling him, like, hey, you need to start selling food that's going to be good for the health of the humanity, the health of others. Stop just worrying about your kids and your family. If you're going to continue to be that way, we're going to stop buying your products. I think it's that simple. When we start stepping in, as soon as we see something that's very not morally correct, that does not align with the proper way of living, that does not align with the biblical codes and so many things that hold us to a higher standard, we must step in and find ways to eliminate that. We can step in and try to see if we can help the person change and become a better person. But if that person decides not to, just step away. And that is the topic that I was talking about. Is basically when we recognize the word shame, we can't always look at shame as something terrible. No, because when shame is used in a good way, it allows people to start doing good to others. It allows people to correct their actions. It allows people to recognize what can they do to be better at certain things. It allows people to treat others fairly. All good things. But when shame, yes, when it's taken in the wrong direction, it can make somebody feel very much hopeless. It can make someone lose their identity of who they are. And that's not the goal. Remember, the goal is allowing that to help people become a positive force in the world. Once again, if you did enjoy this and it's your first time on this channel, man, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This is the Gloire Show. And yeah, until next time, peace.